but I don't think it turns around if Kamala Harris gets into office. I think they clamp down more. I think the same stuff that they were trying to do with Twitter, they'll try to do with something else and with other things. They've already openly discussed it. You know, she's openly discussed that the same rules have to apply to Facebook, they have to apply to Twitter, and that Elon Musk could lose his privileges. And, like, there's so many wild things that they're saying.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. Absolute scathing words from Joe Rogan on Kamala Harris's crackdown on free speech and just how disastrous her presidency would be for this country. See, a lot of people want to well, we need Joe Rogan to endorse this, endorse that. If you watch his show, he's basically been endorsing Trump for a very long time without saying it. He's very critical of what the Democrats have done. And these new Rogan clips, by the way, if you remember, I believe it was back in March. No, it couldn't have been March. A while back, they tried to misrepresent a Joe Rogan clip as being pro Kamala, but that actually wasn't true. And ABC News, I believe, got caught out trying to selectively edit it. These two clips are absolutely great. And he's 100% right about a free speech clampdown. By the way, this video is sponsored by Freedom Chat. Let me ask you the question. Are you concerned that your privacy is being attacked by the radical left? The deep state, including the DOJ, is invading individuals' private messages and targeting them based on their political affiliation. That's why I've partnered with Freedom Chat, a private social messaging app that, like me, believes privacy is a fundamental human right. Freedom Chat offers true end-to-end encryption, built-in screenshot protection to ensure that no one can screenshot your conversations, zero storage of messages on their servers, and no commercial use of user data. This is the app that I trust. It's the app that my family and I rely on, and especially as we approach the election. Some people will stop at nothing to maintain power, making privacy protection more important than ever. Download the app right now by going to freedomchat.com/thequartering. Such a fan of Freedom Chat, I created my own private channel as well, which you can subscribe to for exclusive content, including never before seen images, videos, posts. Simply download the app, search for my channel, and subscribe. No one can see the channels you're subscribed to or the posts that you even react to. It's your own private news feed. If you're on Android, you can scan the QR code on your screen and subscribe to their wait list. Go to freedomchat.com. Speak freely, message privately with Freedom Chat. Again, download the app today and subscribe to my channel at The Quartering for exclusive posts and never before seen content. Joe Rogan fears free speech clampdown under a Harris-Walz administration. Joe Rogan shared an ominous prediction about the state of free speech if Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate Tim Horse Sauce Walz win the election in November, arguing that Democratic ticket poses a grave threat to the First Amendment. Rogan offered his thoughts on the troubling trend of censorship in the United States in a conversation with former Navy SEAL, ex-CIA contractor, and podcaster Sean Ryan in an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience on Thursday. I don't think it turns around if Kamala Harris gets into office, Rogan said, of the censorship trend. I think they clamp down even more. That's why I use Rumble. That's why Rumble is the primary home for my live streams, by the way. I think the same stuff they're trying to do to Twitter, they're going to try to do the other things Rogan added. They've already openly discussed it. She's openly discussed the same rules apply to Facebook, have to apply to Twitter, and that Elon Musk could lose his privileges. Elon Musk also echoed Rogan's statement on X. Tesla CEO reposted the clip of the podcast saying that Joe Rogan is absolutely right. Let's take a look at the clip.
The more we have platforms where that stuff is just free, where you can just say whatever you want, say whatever you think about anything, which really X and Rumble are the only places that I know of that you can
shout
really
out Rumble. By the way, shout out Rumble. He's right. You know, and Rumble even more so than X, to be fair, but both are good
right now.
Have you had any problem on audio at all?
No.
Good.
No.
Good. I haven't either.
It's audio is like they're leaving that alone for now. I think it's probably because it's not as easily shared. Right?
That's what's coming next.
Yeah, probably. I mean, all they would have to do is just put images of you and images of me and then have our audio and upload that as a video. And then maybe they would start coming after audio.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
or they'll just use transcripts, right? They'll they'll use AI transcripting to quickly scan your audio to look for no words. And by the way, I do think audio has been under attack. Didn't Spotify remove like 75 episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience when he signed his deal? 53, I think, when he first signed the deal. And I don't think they've removed anything since. They've actually been pretty good about it, but I'm pretty sure that audio is still kind of pretty censored as well.
I mean, I hope, I just hope this shit starts to turn around.
I do too, but I don't think it turns around if Kamala Harris gets into office. I think they clamp down more. I think the same stuff that they were trying to do.
Absolutely brutal statement. And one that's correct too. One that's absolutely correct. If Kamala Harris gets in office, they're going to just do more of the same stuff they've always been doing to try and make sure that, Democrats stay in power. You won't be allowed to. I mean, look at the way the mainstream media is reacting to all the Comrade Kamala memes. The mainstream media is having multiple meltdowns over the Comrade Kamala memes and how effective they are with the Latino community, because many of them immigrated here to escape socialism and they don't want it. That's why so many Kamala's lost so much support with Latinos.
With Twitter, they'll try to do with something else and with other things. They've already openly discussed it. She's openly discussed that the same rules have to apply to Facebook, they have to apply to Twitter, and that Elon Musk could lose his privileges. And there's so many wild things that they're saying. Tim Walz said that the First Amendment doesn't apply to misinformation or hate speech.
Direct quote. And remember, what the government calls quote unquote misinformation or hate speech, okay? That's just stuff they don't like. That's just information that they don't like, words that they don't like. That is what they refer to as both hate speech and misinformation. Remember, if you questioned the Poke at all, they were saying you were spreading misinformation, or you were getting banned, suppressed, censored on basically every major media platform. By the way, if you haven't yet, make sure you download the Rumble app and you follow your favorite creators over on Rumble. I've been there for 5+ years or something like that at this point, but obviously very strongly lately. I have nearly 275,000 subscribers there. It's very real. It's a very real alternative to mainstream tech. And I'm hopeful that more people will continue to download the Rumble app and follow their favorite creators there.
Okay, well, it certainly does. It does. Sometimes people say things wrong. And the goal of the First Amendment is you say something wrong, and then this guy who's an expert says the right thing.
Yeah.
And then you correct them.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, the misinformation, it's just all opinion.
Right. Well, so much of it turns out to be true. How about masks don't work? You would get screamed at for masks don't work. Well, guess what? They don't fucking work.
No, whoops.
They don't work.
I remember.
Fauci said masks don't work. Remember that interview before the pandemic, before they knew how big it was going to be?
Yeah.
Remember when they said, well, you really need a double mask. And if you want to be super, super good, then triple mask. I mean, why not quadruple mask? What an absolute boss shout out for Rumble. And to be honest with you, this stuff is, look at what the mainstream media already does. MSNBC issues correction for TikTok clip confusing Joe Rogan's praise for Gabbard as endorsement of Harris. Joe Rogan is ready, I think. Shout out to Liberal Hive Mind for grabbing this clip. I think Joe Rogan is ready to endorse Trump.
Union with Tulsi Gabbard and Robert Kennedy is that you're having these movements that seem to be almost impossible to achieve outside of an outsider, like the "Make America Healthy Again" concept. What are you talking about? You're going to go up against these companies that have been donating to these political parties forever and have allowed them to have these regulations that are allowing them to have these dyes in food that's illegal in our neighboring Canada?
Yes. That's what they're saying. That's what RFK wants to do. Now, I wouldn't have voted for RFK as president, but I do believe him when he says that he wants to, work on making America's youth healthy and to get all these forever chemicals and all this kind of stuff out of all of our foods. And, you know, my generation probably lost, but it sure would be nice to, you know, have healthy food for our kids, have sustainable food for our kids that isn't eating the bugs, right?
What? This is no one's done that before, right? So that's very exciting.
Okay, so
You know, to me, that seems like some.
I mean, yeah, that is very exciting. I mean, I think the fact that, you know, Joe Rogan seems excited now, he doesn't have to endorse Trump, right? All he's really doing is endorsing Tulsi Gabbard, whom he's always liked, and RFK, who he's always liked. Maybe Trump is the quote-unquote necessary evil required. You see, Joe Rogan has a warning for America. If Kamala Harris wins U.S. presidency in 2024, it could threaten this, ... Well, free speech. Now, I don't think that there's a lot of people that would argue with me whether or not, you know, which particular political party is more censorious than the other. I mean, one of the guys had to start his own social media network to not be banned. You know, Trump started Truth Social, which, as far as I know, I guess, you know, I am on Truth Social. You can find me there. I haven't heard a lot of griping and complaining about censorship there. It's not like my primary platform. You know, pretty much Rumble and X are my primary platforms where I spend the most time, and in my now in my members Discord. But I don't know. You know, I think, like, if you look back in 2019, in a 2019 address to the NAACP, Kamala Harris has stated, quote, "We will hold social media platforms accountable for the hate infiltrating their platforms because they have a responsibility to help fight against this threat to our democracy." They like using that word, threat to democracy. That's how they got people, you know, program people to try and take Trump out, in my opinion. Okay. This is just a different wrapping. It's lipstick on the pig of censorship. That's what they want. It's dangerous. It's dangerous to have, you know, to have people having free speech. Look, people are wrong. People are also wrong occasionally about medical stuff. Okay. It happens. But the reality is, or the point is that you're allowed to be wrong. And then a discourse happens and hopefully you learn from it. I also think there's a massive difference between somebody who is just incorrect about something and somebody who is willingly putting out false information, like MSNBC did about Joe Rogan endorsing Kamala Harris. Okay. So yeah, even if you don't like Trump, hopefully you like RFK or you like Tulsi Gabbard or you're anti-censorship. There's a lot of reasons to vote for him. I don't think Joe Rogan's ever going to, like, outright, you know, take you know, a side, as Liberal Highmind puts it. But I think he's tacitly endorsing Trump here. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe or follow. We'll see you out on Freedom Chat, and we'll talk to you again real soon.